What if I told you that you could double your e-commerce brand's subscription revenue without spending any extra money on ads? This isn't about some special growth hack or marketing strategy. It's actually something a lot less sexy, but it's probably right under your nose at the moment. Optimizing your subscription plans. Okay, so what am I talking about here? Your subscription plans are the choices and the options that you give customers around how often they get product, how often they're billed, and how much they get when they subscribe. And the tough thing is that I've seen so many brands get this wrong, where they'll spend all this money and time and energy investing into growth, but they're driving traffic to a funnel where the subscription options are not close or not optimized to what customers actually want and how often they're consuming. The cool thing is that if you get this right though, it's gonna all of a sudden feel 10 times easier to get people in on subscription from the start and then keep them subscribed for way longer. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 3 key decisions that are either gonna make or break your subscription growth. And hey, if you stick around to the end of this video, I've got a special free bonus for you, but more on that later. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about the first key decision, frequency of delivery. When setting up subscription offers, most brands default to monthly delivery, but that one-size-fits-all approach just leaves so much money on the table. You don't just have to do monthly, you actually have so many other options. You could go with every 2, 4, 6, 8 weeks, or every 1, 2, 3 months, you get the point. The best subscription frequency for your brand totally depends on your customers and how often they're using it. For example, let's say you have a daily supplement. Monthly might make the most sense. But for things like food, beverages, or beauty products, defaulting to monthly can actually backfire. If it takes customers 6 weeks to go through their supply, but you're sending more every 4 weeks, you're going to end up with frustrated subscribers that have way too much product. And you know what that means? That's a one-way ticket to cancellation town. Okay, on the flip side, if your product is something people blow through in 2 weeks, only offering monthly deliveries means that you're actually missing out on revenue from your heaviest users. And here's another factor to consider: perishability and storage space. If your product goes bad quickly or takes up tons of room in the fridge, think something like frozen smoothies or seafood, more frequent deliveries might actually be better. Think weekly or bi-weekly, and that way you're sending them less product more often, so it's not just sitting there taking up space and going to waste. As a general rule, I recommend erring on the side of less frequent deliveries by default. It's usually better to have people run out a little bit early than have too much product stacking up. Oh, and pro tip for you, consider switching your frequency from monthly to every 4 weeks. To the customer, it sounds the same, but to you, it's actually 13 billing cycles a year instead of 12. Over the course of a year, that's like getting a whole extra month of revenue from each customer. That's a lot of cheddar. Okay, so the second key decision to make is what quantity options to offer. Quantity goes hand in hand with frequency. For some products, monthly is just going to make the most sense. It's straightforward, like a 30-day supplement supply for monthly subscription. But for a lot of companies, consumption patterns vary super widely between customers. Take food and beverage, for example. You might have a customer who just really savors the experience of your product, and they make 1 bottle, 1 bag, whatever, last a full month. But somebody else, they might be guzzling it down every single morning, and they need a new bag every 2 weeks. So you've got to think about the quantities that you offer really carefully, and then how that ties into your actual delivery frequencies, and importantly, your shipping costs. Let's take a look at Aplos, which is a super popular, very cool, non-alcoholic spirit brand. Check out what they're doing. So you can buy a 1 bottle order, a 2 bottle order, a 6 bottle order, or 12 bottles at a time with progressive discounts as you order more. And you can get any of those quantities on subscription for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or 8 weeks. Oh, and notice how they're using that clever every 4-week trick that we talked about earlier? They know what's up. By actually providing those larger options and bundles, they're catering to their heaviest customers and users, giving them an opportunity to buy even more. Plus, those bigger bundles massively drive up their average order value, giving them way more margin for acquisition. Again, think about how you can tie quantity in with frequency to cater to your best customers or people who go through your product more slowly. Now that we've thought through our frequency and our quantity options, we actually have one more lever that we can pull, and that's how often we charge our subscribers. For most brands, it's pretty straightforward. They charge with every shipment. Monthly delivery, monthly billing, weekly delivery, weekly billing. You get the idea. But getting creative with payment frequencies can actually unlock some serious benefits for your business. Let's talk about prepaid subscriptions, aka charging upfront for multiple shipments. So what this looks like, instead of charging every month, you might offer a 3-month subscription where the customer pays once for all 3 months upfront. Or maybe you have an annual subscription where you prepay for the full year. For the customer, prepaid plans are super convenient and they offer a better deal via extra discounts, additional perks, or bonuses. And for your business, it means more predictable revenue and healthier cash flow. When you do prepaid plans, you actually get a big influx of cash up front, and prepaid subscribers have much lower churn rates. Now, prepaid subscriptions won't make sense for just every brand, but if you can get those dialed in, it can actually be a game changer for your business from a cash flow and growth perspective. Do me a favor and test it out to see what resonates with your audience. All right, let's recap. 3 tips for creating the perfect subscription selling plan strategy for your brand. Number 1, match delivery frequency to your product usage. Okay, so don't just blindly default to monthly. Consider offering options like every 2 or 4 weeks or every 3 months, depending on how customers are actually using your product. Number 2, consider offering heavy users and customers larger quantity options. I promise your bank account will thank you. And then number 3, incentivize longer commitments from subscribers with prepaid plans. Okay, quick bonus. You don't have to show every single available plan on your website. Just enable the most popular options up front and keep it really simple, and then let subscribers customize to their heart's content on the back end via their portal. Most subscription apps, so think like Skio, Recharge, Stay.ai, Loop Subscriptions, Yotpo, they all provide a customer portal where they allow customers to self-service swap products, cancel their subscription, change their delivery cadence, and do all sorts of things without you having to actually lift a finger. Okay, so remember, the key here is to experiment and then find out what works best for your unique brand and your customer base. Don't be afraid to try new things and iterate based on what your customer data is showing you. And then, hey, if you're feeling inspired to revamp your subscription plans or your offers, but don't know where to start, I've got a special offer for you. Just drop a link to your brand's website in the comments below, and I'll check out your subscription offer and reply back with a couple of quick suggestions or thoughts when I have some time. I can't promise that I'm going to get to every single comment, but hey, I'm going to do my best to share some insights with as many of you as I can. And here's what I can say. If you're one of the first people to comment, I'm going to make sure to give your brand some special attention. And then, hey, if you need some extra help, more hands-on, my team at 100 Celsius is totally here for you. Our e-commerce clients typically see a 20 to 30% boost in subscription revenue in the first 90 days of working with us. I would be happy to talk through what that could look like for your business. Head over to 100celsius.co to learn more.